So theoretically, this should be live up here, right? Nah. Oh. What? They sticks it way over into uploads? That's a little ridiculous. You can really absently see me tonguing the cavity in my mouth, too. I think I can turn this gain up a bit. I have one viewer. That's crazy. We haven't even started yet. Holy shit, I love my new thingy. It says cake right here. Look at that. Fuck, I love my new job. It's almost front and center. I think maybe we could tilt this way a bit and then up. Yeah, okay. We don't have that weird shape down there now. Fuck, I love my new job. It's almost front and center. Oh yeah, I can hear it. Very, very, very quietly in the background. I can hear the echo. Ooh. All right, I'm just gonna do some social media shit. Oh yeah, I can hear it. Very, very, very quietly in the background. I can hear the boop, boop, boop. Why the fuck? My channel. Shouldn't it be like the first thing if it's live? Oh my god, this is so annoying. I mean, it's right here if I hit videos, but... Man, YouTube is so fucking full of shit. Just kidding. Okay. Why the fuck? My channel. Shouldn't it be like the first thing if it's live? Oh my god, this is so annoying. I mean, it's right here if I hit videos, but... Man, YouTube is so fucking full of shit. Yep. You're right, Michael. YouTube is full of shit. I guess it sounds plenty loud. Where's my... Oh. I guess it sounds plenty loud. Cool. All right. That's as long as I'm going to wait. Every time I click record, I always do this with my hair. Okay. Oh. That might make a very slight difference in the sound quality. Everything's all blown out now. Hello, puny mortals. Welcome to Smoke and Madness. How many of those do I got? Hello. We're done with Stone Vlogs. Long live Smoke and Madness. That was good. Hello. Hell. Hi. Hi there. Hi there. Doesn't work even if you're surprising. Hi, my name is Michael Bennett, and this is Smoke and Madness, the last rebranding of Stone Vlogs I intend to do. So far, this is exactly the same. You're right. We're in color. I'm not a cartoon. I've recorded a bunch of versions of this. I have a version that has me explaining that I've recorded a bunch of versions of this. This version... hopefully is the last version of this. Because every other version got muddled up with stuff that isn't really relevant. If you want to see all that irrelevant stuff, you can watch all the live streams. There should be a playlist in the linky, the commenty right down here. And if you're watching on like PlayStation or some shit, here's a playlist somewhere. In that playlist are all the live, unedited versions of what you're watching now. And you can see all the problems that I gave to myself because I kept on trying to make sense out of things that don't really need to be made sense out of anymore. And I was talking about things that I've already talked about at length. So all of these things combined... to create the apathy in which I was like, I need to try again. Because, like, the point that needs to be addressed here is that This is what I'm making for a while, kids. I do intend to talk about media. I don't know if you'd call it a review. I'm certainly not going to give it a grade or a ranking or some shit. But I will talk about things that I've seen, and we'll have people on and have discussions about things that they've seen. But that's just a very small thing. See, because let's talk about it after this little clip of video gaming, hopefully. I'm going to... See, the thing is, I try to stream, and I'm trying to use YouTube almost exclusively. And it's not out of brand loyalty. It's not that I dislike Twitch. There's more of you guys here than Twitch. We may get fed up and move to Twitch, but I'd rather make announcements on that. And I don't hate the YouTube streaming platform. It works pretty fine. And also, like I said, it's automatically in like a playlist for me. So I could just shove the old... if you want to watch these unedited for some crazy reason... you could go and do that. So, at any rate, so I'm not going to explain. So, the first several versions of this first episode that you didn't see are me explaining that Lindsay Ellis doesn't like me anymore, and that makes me sad. Then I got it in my head for some reason that we could be friends again, and then I was like, "Oh, right, that's not how human beings work." The way human beings work is things change and you adapt to those changes, and usually they don't go back. And I don't know. I think it was partly because of our Guardians of the Galaxy episode. It was partly the way Dan initially responded to me after all the Channel Awesome stuff came out. But as far as I know. And as far as it doesn't matter. And I got real in the weeds about that. And I gotta say, it took me slightly longer than usual to catch on to that kind of frustration for me. But I caught it, and we're not talking about it anymore. This first episode, I'm not exactly sure, except just to talk about the things I intend to do. Oh, right. This also has video game clips in it. So this is me throwing to a video game clip. But I might not throw to clips very often. I might just find a nice natural place to cut and then put in some video gaming clips. Or whatever. Obviously, I'm not talking to you live, folks. But now I am. Hi, Belinda. Welcome. I told you I'd tweet you. All right. Back to the recording part, because I am recording this part. So yeah, like so I got real hung up on this stuff, and it also occurs to me they can talk to me anytime now. I've opened the lines of communication, so I mean I've made it pretty clear, and I am now, that if Lindsay or Dan or Kyle or any of those guys want to have a conversation, I'm down to have a conversation. You know what I do want to talk about? Tony Goldmark. Is that drama? Is that drama alert I hear? Where do I hear that way in the distance? Is that drama? Oh man, it's been a while. But it's here. I can see it. It's so pretty. So I've been doing this thing where I tweet the stream when I'm streaming, and I add a bunch of people. And and I added Tony Goldmark because I don't know. I thought enough time had passed and maybe he'd want to have a conversation. And I added Lindsay and Vega and Soft Lavender and my friend Razor, who I probably could have added on this one. Now that I think about it. And so anyway, and everybody asked if I was okay. And I didn't write anything that weird, I didn't think. I said I was boring myself. I put a link to my stream. I thought anyone want to chat was what I wrote. I thought, does anyone want to have a talk? and then I added those 5 people. And then everyone asked me if I was okay, or Tony reacted this way. I don't know if I don't think the tweet's existing. I deleted the initial tweet, so I think it's... And I didn't screenshot it, or I don't, you know what I mean? He has every right in the world to say this never happened, because I don't know if there's that much proof of it. But he wrote, are you patch things up with Lindsay? He asked me if I patched things up with Lindsay. Because how could that ever have happened? How could anyone patch anything up with me? What an insane thought. I've never had a fight with anyone that has ever resolved, ever. People just come out of my life and they just go away forever. Fucking... At any rate. And I go, no, she still hates me, lol. And that's what I wrote, because as far as... And I was hoping she'd get added a couple of times, because as far as I know, Lindsay Ellis hates me. And that's going on sources around her, but she don't talk to me. I tried to talk to her in April. I tried once, and exactly once. And I did it very privately, and she didn't respond to me, so I'm going to go fuck. And I talked to Dan once, and then I blurted some bullshit, and then I think I went off because it just never heard from anyone at all. And how dare them, by the way, how dare them do that document without me? The more I think about it, the more I'm like, am I narcissistic to think that I should have been involved? And the answer is no. I did title cards for pretty much, I did title cards for a lot of contributors at Channel Awesome, mostly Rap Critic, but I did a bunch for fucking Justin. Like, it would have been kind of nice to include in when they knew. And also, it would have been nice if I got my eyes on it before it went public, because the way that fucking document is ordered. All right, controversial statement time. Weren't you talking about Tony Goldmark drama? We'll get to that. We'll fucking get to it. All right? It's not like I forgot, and it's probably better anyway. But, like, they set this document up, right? And it goes, and it's like, there's some, I think it's, the first big chunk is just Allison's grievances, which are long and detailed and absolutely justified and whatever. And I think there's a couple more, and then there's Lindsay's. And Lindsay's is pretty detailed, but not as detailed as it could have been. I think that she did less than she should have done. She should have made more of a public statement, like in a video or something. But I know why she didn't, because of PBS. I'm not saying that, I don't know what the right answer is here. Either don't get involved at all or get involved with both feet. Actually, I knew what the right answer is. You should get involved with both feet. But at the same time, it didn't turn into that. It wasn't that at the beginning. I think when Lindsay joined up, I don't think the revelations about Justin were so obvious. And I don't know. I'm not saying that she would back out or leap in more, but I don't know. It's really hard. This is a real hard one. Talking about that document, because like the revelations of that are not only... Now, there are a lot of... The rumors are flying around right after. Like Jackie Hill was saying that either this was either he witnessed it or somebody close to him, but I can't remember if it's secondhand knowledge or firsthand knowledge. Something to the effect of like hiding it, like Holly being pretty cognizant of the fact that Justin does this predatory grooming. I was trying to think of the word grooming. It's just like, Jesus Christ. It's weird and fucked up that I gotta think of what pedophile term to think about when I'm discussing somebody. The reason I thought about this, though, it didn't come out of left field, is that Vic Mangaladoodoo. I gotta look at my convention to like. Ugh, I'm so grossed out that he's going. If he's like suddenly not here, I'd be dope. Mignogna. He plays. Oh my god, he plays a lot of guys. Actually, I think I'm aware of. He plays the Full Metal Alchemist. That's fine. He plays a Dragon Ball. And a pink-haired fella, and it looks like a Bleach. He looks like if Sting. My initial reaction is it looks like if Sting got hit with a shovel, and that's partly right. He kind of looks like if Sting did Christian music, and he's it doesn't say anything about him being a creepy Christian. They should also $10 an autograph and he might kiss you? Gross. Ugh. That is so weird. Oh, wait, who is he in Soul Calibur? I have to, like, think of that guy's voice. Is he, like, Siegfried? Oh, God, I can't look at this guy anymore. It freaks me out. The pictures are real awkward of this dude. All right, so this Vic Migny... So, this... Okay. So, reeling it back, right? I started talking about Tony. But then I was like, you know what hole I really need to dig is this Channel Awesome document hole. And I fell into that hole because Vic Mignogna... Vic Mignogna... Ugh, I don't want to like look it up later to make it a graphic. So just assume you look it up. It's the guy who does the Mr. the Full Metal Alchemist. And I'm looking at my convention, the convention I'm going to in February, and that fucking weirdo is right next to Estelle and her one cameo, and Jeremy Shada, who does like he's Finn. So those two, and then this weirdo fucking. This weirdo, Vic. Ugh, gross. Any rate, because I was gonna make a big comment about how I was impressed that my convention didn't invite the walkers, but it turns out they'll still hire a pretty rapey dude, or they'll bring in a pretty rapey dude. But you know what? It's one article. You know what I mean? Like that's real hard. I don't know what kind of charges have been brought up or what. I'm just saying, if you're going to a convention where this Vic dude's going, watch your kids or your high school. You know, if you're like a high schooler and you're going with your girlfriend or just your friends, go in groups and shit. I don't know. This guy's. The stuff I read was pretty creepy and familiar, which is why I thought of the Justin Wario stuff, which made me think of the Channel Awesome document. And I've been saying for a long time, the Channel Awesome document, what's really messed up about it is just the ordering of the way things go down, right? So you got all of very justifiable, this is a good idea to put the screen on, very justifiable stuff that Allison, I always want to I emphasize the very justifiable stuff with Allison because her stuff was very prolonged, insane, verbal and mental abuse for like a long, prolonged period of time. And then the job, then making videos became enough of a job that she had to, it was like the money. And guess what? That's the 100% of the stressor for 100% of the people who aren't bajillionaires or married to bajillionaires or whose dad isn't a bajillionaire. Money is such a fucking stressor that it's so easy. Like, people are like, well, if it sucked, why don't you just get a real job? And you're like, it's not really that easy. It's hard to maintain something like this. The reason I'm doing something so fucking laxy, like real easy, very few assets, no editing for clips and shit. I'm not really going to look for a lot of fancy bullshit, is because I don't got fucking time. I have a day job. Right now the day job's kind of kicking my ass. It's like we're moving fucking DVDs and shit like crazy. So it's like really physical. And but when I had a day job in LA, I produced The Bunny Perspective. And I think that I'm doing fine with the webcam. Seems okay. The lighting looks interesting. For now, this will be fine until which time I can upgrade. And in which case, if I upgrade and I do the Bunny Perspective, I'm still not going to do the Bunny Perspective that people remember. Fuck! So get that shit out of your head, because it's not going to come back that way. Were you going to talk about drama? Shut up. It occurs to me that these bong hits are kind of good in places to insert a clip. So at any rate, what happened with the way the document is ordered, you have this heavy shit, some normal shit, some heavy shit, some really heavy shit, and then there's like 3 more anonymous, no big deal comments after that. And I know right when it happened, this really bugged me, but it bugs me even more now. And if you read those, one of them is talking about how Justin didn't get a good memorial and that Doug Walker was going to handle it. And I remember being like, kind of, that one disgusted me a little bit. And then I was like, oh, never mind. I know exactly why they did what they did. It grossed me out for a different reason, you know? Like, oh, cool, the Walkers have no depth to their depravity. There's no lows that they will not sink to. So, you know, fuck us, right? Fuck us. We shouldn't know that one of your contributors is a rapist and was grooming young girls. That's not relevant to the rest of us. That did his title card art, that talked to him about his live stream, that made an entire movie based on his fictional character after he killed himself because he's a monster. How pathetic is that, too? He doesn't even own up to it. He doesn't even own up to it. He doesn't have to hear all of us chastise him and treat him like shit. He just killed himself before anyone found out that was relevant. Fuck, dude. I got a lot of time to think about that. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about this new show. I know, you're so excited. What about that Tony Goldmark drama? So at any rate, I write... I write on Twitter, and I at Tony, and I at Lindsay, and Tony's like, are you guys on good terms? I'm like, no, Lindsay hates me. Last I know, Lindsay hates me. Lol. LOL. Universal symbol for, I'm trying to be lighthearted here. I'm not being shitty. And then Tony goes on this diatribe, and the long and short of it is, I told you not to burn bridges, and this is a pathetic attempt to get Lindsay's attention. I was like, it's not wrong. It's not, but it wasn't a wholehearted attempt at getting Lindsay's attention at all. Mostly I was perplexed that I wasn't blocked on her Twitter, because last I knew I was. So, fuck me, right, Tony? Because I made the assumption based on watching that very long video she made about Guardians, where she emphasized Rocket's faults and how they're eerily similar to a lot of the things I've done. And, and if you think I'm a lost cause or whatever, that's fine. But no one asked you. I don't think your videos are that good. I think you overwrite them. I think you over-edit them. I think if you didn't shoot at a fucking theme park, you wouldn't have to do so much post-voice work. You guys there's a lot of ways around this. All I'm saying is, I worked harder than most other people on their shows, and I got admittedly frustrated when effort wasn't paying off. I didn't do cameos very often because I had to ask 2 people or 3 people sometimes to help me set things up. And then if I did, I was trying to do it while I was shooting something else. I ran out of reviewing ideas right away. I basically had nothing after Condemned, because I had put a lot of effort into that. I put a lot of effort into just nitpick. It wasn't nitpicking. It was just so irritating. The thing about Battle Royale, the challenging thing about Battle Royale is they're all kids, right? If it doesn't work if they're adults and some of them are wrestlers. It just doesn't. There's no taboo breaking. There's no that insane shot in Battle Royale with that young girl holding the teddy covered in blood smiling. But here's the thing. If I were to do the bunny perspective from scratch and had to pick the same review topics, I would combine Battle Royale and Condemned and make it a Condemned review talking about Battle Royale while I talked about the Condemned. Because essentially all I did for the Battle Royale review, which you guys probably will never see because it is on a very dead Macintosh, and it is 30 gigs big. I don't know how I managed to do this, but it was real early into me trying to produce things again. And for some reason, old me really hated looking up some really basic shit. New me looks up basic shit all the time. So it's a little different. But old me just made it whatever size. And my Mac has not been able to handle the process of condensing it. I've thought about going so far as to getting like a cloud storage and setting it to upload. But I stupidly plugged this into the wrong thing and it shorted out and it fried it. And I don't even know if I'll have anything from the old hard drive off of this to show for it. Aha! Don't buy Macs. Anyway, so it's impossible to transfer it in any conceivable way, in any easy way. So it was just sitting there, and you're probably never gonna see it again. I don't give a shit. Why would I ever repost it? The first ever Buddy Perspective episode. It's the worst puppet. It's the worst puppeteering. I'm constantly doing this. Yep, and then I talk and I do this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually cannot replicate it because I've become such a great puppeteer. It's just like, it's natural. But it's fine. I'm not bragging. Who cares? Because I'm not doing puppet stuff. It's too difficult. It's the reason I didn't do it. Heather's willing, but we need a different setup. We need an actual set. It's the thing that I've needed for the Bunny Perspective since inception. Like, he needs his own desk that I can be under. That's all he's ever needed, but it needs to be like really tall. It's stupid. It's better if you can, if I could sit, it'd be okay. That would still kind of suck, but if I could stand, it's easier to stand and do this stuff. That's why they do that on the Muppet Show. But setting up that kind of thing, it wasn't a big deal. And then, I couldn't there's a lot of problems that aren't going to ever probably be discussed on this because they're like personal family things. I don't know what to call them. We could call it the Gashiers, like it's a community or something. You could call it but when we were all in the studio and making local people's photography make us money was our jobs, the Bunny Perspective became a burden. And it never mattered if anyone promoted us. Because I'll tell you, we didn't have a show that anyone wanted to watch. I don't think. That's rude. I have very few episodes that I actually remember doing. There's a bunch I don't remember doing that I know I did, but I don't really remember them. I remember doing Panty and Stocking and Repo Men, which is basically what I mean by doing the Condemned. But I did Repo Men, which is a really shoddy version of Repo Man, which is it's a genetic opera, which is a fucking really, really good musical and gross out horror film and stage play or whatever. But you know why I remember that? Because I fucked my knee up. I fucked my knee up doing that. I sat in a weird position and my knee swelled up. I could barely walk on it. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you I'm not, but we didn't have the effort or the money. We didn't really know exactly what to do. We needed to have built a set specifically for this that we could have tweaked a little bit and did the lighting for. And I get annoyed because all this shit that people are doing now all the time, all this bullshit blue lighting and tinting shit, we were doing all that fucking shit way back then. And now, if I would have given more of a shit, I would have played with it more in After Effects and stuff before I got done. But I'm always running on shit. My computer's barely running now. I'm just when my computer was good, I used it just for League of Legends. And it's not, because that's why I bought it. It was a League of Legends machine, because I was done. It's really hard. It's really hard putting in that kind of effort for the Bunny Perspective and just seeing nothing for it. And at the same time, not really wanting to do fucking reviews. And it's not that I don't want to do reviews. It's just sometimes I want to talk about some other shit. But back then, I think even Lindsay was, I don't think she asked if I had a gimmick or anything, but no, I don't, because Dan never really had a gimmick either. Idea Channel was still fresh and was still running, and there wasn't none of this wisecrack bullshit. I think Wisecrack's getting a little bit lazy. I can't be the only person that's thinking that Wisecrack's getting a little bit lazy. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and then there was this long period of time where I was just like, the internet's covered. They don't need me. But it turns out they do need me. Because if you watch everything on a long enough timeline, it all turns to shit. Like, for instance, let's pretend you're an atheist. Can you tell me any atheists on YouTube that don't cringe you out when it comes to any kind of LBGT or progressive rights discussions? Because I can tell you 2. And Logic barely passes because he's just like, hey man, don't care. I don't think anyone needs to be repressed or whatever. And he's also called out other atheists for being just like uneducated about what the discussion is. And he's one of the first people to bring up Jordan Peterson. The first I had ever heard of Jordan Peterson was from Logic. So, like, before ContraPoints, for sure. ContraPoints might have been the second. And then from then, it's just, I've been watching Hugo and Jake talk about, like, they're doing the entire book like it's the Bible, which is funny. And Hugo and Jake are the only atheists are, like, they're fully progressive. And the other guy's a genetically modified skeptic. And the only reason I'm iffy on that dude is I don't know. I feel like the ex-really religious guys always... I'm always suspect of them. And it's not... And I think it might be because of Armored Skeptic. Because Armored Skeptic came from like a really, really religious whatever. And right when all of the like, he's definitely, him and his girlfriend or fiance or whatever definitely go way out of their way to be like, there are 2 genders, and it's just like, I mean, no, yeah, I guess. I don't understand why there can't be gray. I don't understand why these motherfuckers everything's black and white, because nature doesn't come in black and white. It always comes in these variables of gray. You know, like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get how logical people who follow this logical trend, look around and they're like, oh yeah, man, the status quo, that's where it's at. We gotta stick with this. We gotta stick with this. Men working and women being my personal fuck slave. Isn't that right? High five. And I'm like, there's a time and a place to talk about fuck slaves. And that's in your fuck dungeon with your consenting, willing fuck partners. It's not how society should work. It's really ridiculous. Jordan Peterson's out here, motherfucker, on Vice, being like, yeah, you should not be allowed to wear makeup at work because it simulates sexual stuff. Guys will get confused and try to mouthfuck that lady. And if he mouthfucks a lady in the office and she's wearing makeup, obviously she was subconsciously asking to get mouthfucked. And he's a lobster. What in the fuck? What? Jordan Peterson's a piece of shit. Get back on subject. Okay, listen. Here's the thing. Here's the skitty. These are going to be slightly better structured than this is. And I'm going to do reviews, but I know how YouTube is being lately. I ain't doing clips. So come prepared for reviews. I'm taking a break for a second. Hi, chat. Asthmatic, so sometimes smoking is a bit hard. right, bye, chat. I'm ignoring you again. I gotta get this all out of my system, or it'll never leave. Jordan Peterson's the worst. All right, so yeah, like, all right. I do want to discuss all this stuff at length and have things to react to, but the other thing that I definitely am going to be doing on this show is having conversations with people. And I guess it's like a podcast, and I may release podcasty versions of this if it goes okay, especially if I can get my co-host to record. The first of these would be with Color the Gay Scale. She has it's a good name. It's hard to say. Karen knows this. Color the Grayscale is going to be on tomorrow, and we haven't talked in years. Oh, so me and Grandma are going to have a long talk. We did do some catching up on Discord and some other places, and I think Karen's in a good place to start trying to make content, and I can't think of a better partner to try to make content at the same time with. Maybe I can get Leo, that sci-fi guy, to come on. But here's the bribe, right? Because there's no way I'm going to record everything at this decent quality that you're seeing here. It's going to look more like the streaming stuff where it's like pixelated. And it's just going to be me, usually. And maybe it'll be a Google Hangout thing. But, I mean, that's not going to be great. Until which time I get, like, a different setup. In which case, I want... If it's going to be a setup in which, like, people are recording with actual equipment, and then we're using Skype as a variable to... just as a means of communicating, Skype or Discord or whatever, but we're both recording separately so I have the footage. That's what I want the bunny perspective to be. So I need to practice, and my bribe, and this is a spoiler, is I'm going to draw whoever I'm having a conversation with, hopefully a new version for every kind of conversation we have, for whatever it is. It gives me a chance to change things up, like gives me a project to work on, a little fan arty thing. And since me and Karen are going to talk about the Spider-Verse, I'm making Spider-Sonas for me and her. She had this great hat back in the day, so she's really easy to start with as a Spider-Man, as a Spider-Man. And I've got this fun aesthetic choice where, if you know where you have tracksuits, it's on here, like the Letterman, like the stripes. I'm doing that where the spider legs, the two front ones become like they wrap around and they become the tracksuit like down the legs, and then the top legs go up to the shoulders, and then they go on either side of the arm, and they end at the fingers. Because I want to do webbing. I don't like webbing, so I'm gonna do solid colors and play with it that way. And I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put webbing in random places. I need to put some on, but whatever. I've already done Rap Critics, and one day he'll remember to pay me. I don't think he's seen it for some reason, as of this recording. And I'll just charge money for whoever. After that, I don't mind. But for right now, I mean, that's how I bribe people. / maybe make an apology of some kind. Gosh, why would I have to apologize? I guess I said a lot of hurtful shit. I didn't mean to. Maybe if there's interest, I might go way... Can you, like, look up tweets from specific... Oh, shit. Seems like you can. Okay, how to find. Go to your Twitter search, advanced, enter from these accounts under people, and then use pop-up calendar tool to select start date and end date. There's an advanced... Well, fuck it. You know, whatever. Let's do it right now. How bad could they be? How do I do advanced search now? Is it in here? Hang on. We don't need to record this part. All right, hang on. And I don't want the files to get really big because I'm worried the sync might go off. Holy shit. I have such a crush on fucking May Nick Spheres that it's ridiculous. Sucks. Wait. Why do I have that up still? Okay, wait. Enter search in the search bar. At the top with results, there's more options. Okay. Alright. This might be really cringy. This is why we're gonna look right now without necessarily recording. Okay. Okay, advanced search. Gotcha. Okay. At philbunny. And let's go. Had have been 2013. I had to have gotten over it by 2015, right? All right. Okay. All right. You gotta stay pretty specific to figure out. Let's try September. That seems about right. Wait, what did I do? It had to have been 2014, July 1st, to just go January 1st. I couldn't have been gone on that long. Invalid. Why? Was it for... Oh, I keep not putting my account in. It keeps blanking out the account. I didn't realize that. Okay, I'm an idiot. It just says invalid. They didn't tell me why I was invalid. I'm like, I am valid though. I'm a little nervous to find out that I was worse than I think I was. More League videos coming soon. I don't know what any of this context is. This is why I'm not recording this part. Not right. It's not showing me what I'm looking for. I had to have had an account in let's just go way back. And if it puts me where I think it does. Okay, there we go. Holy shit, green screen stuff. Oh, wow. Okay, that is old. But that's all it shows me? Back to top. Alright. Let's try. It's got to be like a super narrow field if you want it to work. I think it was July. So we'll just do that same year, August. Oh, lame. I ran a game with Wario. I forgot about that. Oh, awkward. I was painting miniatures, that's for sure. What the fuck is this? Oh, yeah. Vine. I did vines. Mercy. Okay, I've been fired at this point. This stuff's weird and old. Which way is this going? So wait, right. I was trying to run a role-playing thing. I must not have been fired at this point. This is July 21st for some reason. Oh, this is very... Okay. Right. Okay, let's go to the beginning of July. Hot damn. Smart, Michael. All right, so it's got to be August. Did they fire me in August then? Wow, crazy. I mean, we're getting there. I mean, I probably have gotten over it by October, but maybe. All right. Oh. Right, I was still doing LC's show in 2014 from time to time. Dang. I guess I felt like there's more time between me not talking to everybody. I was playing Strife. Christ. That was a long time ago. Hearthstone. I think Geist and Wraith are my favorite games that no one will play with me. I have so many favorite games that no one will play with me. Oh yeah, it's my Pomeranian. Right, show idea. Toys I painted. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting closer. Begging for money because I think I just needed artwork. I think I just needed weed money. You remember all that shit? Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I remember watching The Visitor. I had to have been fired at this point. Maybe I was fired sooner than this. Was it 2012 that I got fired? What did I do for Vines? I'm sorry, just now noticed that. I lip synced to a bunch of stuff from like I did a bunch of stuff with Phil, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is happening about here. No, I can't see what a lot of these replies are in. Yeah, I mean, like, I just used it because it was real convenient to flip out and do something really quick. And then also, the stuff I'd watch was really funny. Yeah, I remember that. I was streaming a lot. I was trying to stream more. I was saying some shit about the channel. There's some shit where I was being critical of Channel Awesome. Everyone takes everything too personally except you. Why don't you ever grow up? Video games are dumb nonsense, so why don't you dick, whatever. I don't know. Oh yeah, I remember when I painted these Dr. Wow, this is just like looking at a fucking photo album. But this isn't when I got fired. So it must have been 2012? Yeah, I guess it was. Alright. We were in the kind of fun timelines there. Things were okay. We're about to be in the really bad timeline now. The real one. Am I still streaming or did something weird happen over here? Okay. Shit. It's gonna have to be... No, this is not the year I want. 2012. July. Why does it do this? We did it. This is September. It doesn't go back. This is very odd. Ha! Says me. Ha! Maybe... Dan Olson, dude, your Syphil and Ollie episode put me in a jealous rage. I wished it so hard that I had made it that I had to pause it and calm down. What? What? This has got to be the wrong month. There's a Juario. Man, I was really... Oh, yeah. I still have it. It's on one of the walls, or was on one of the walls. Sorry, I got really mumbly because I thought I was in a nostalgia hole before, but holy smokes! Okay, so this is when things were good. I remember doing the Syphil and Ollie episode. And then I did this. Well, it had to have been a year from then. They wouldn't have fired me then. Maybe it was August 2013 that I need to be looking at. I do feel a bit like a time traveler. I think this is the most surreal part. It does feel like time traveling. I keep forgetting to put in my fucking name. It just seems so obvious that it would... Whatever. I've been looking up literally the same thing. When you get back that far, I think you can only really do a month at a time. I guess that's what I'm learning. I don't want to make my own things anymore. I want to help people. Okay. Other cosplay commissions. Board cocky, we're returning. Board cocky. Oh yeah. I was gonna make the bag lady again. No, I wasn't. Here's the fill with the elder things. This is where I'm working on the Principia Discordia. So I feel like I've already been fired at this point, but... Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, what the fuck did I say so wrong? Hang on. None of this has been that bad. Where's the bad shit? It must be down here. No, wait. I remember projectile dad. Still talking to Dickman at that point. Just don't remember what I said, I guess. It must have been... How could it have been... How could I have been fired... Was it not in July? Well, now... I don't remember. Give me a second to do a little research. This is like highly unorthodox research because I have to look at old Bunny Perspective episodes. When did I go? No, it wasn't any of these, was it? Fuck. Was it Time Changer? Oh yeah, Dan. All right, let's look at this part, I guess. I feel the infinite options, uncertain, boredom, or freedom. Um, um, this turned into a bit of a K-hole. Yeah, I don't actually know when I got fired, I guess. Huh. Because I feel like when I was doing the Saturday morning streams, I was already fired. I felt like when I was painting these miniatures, I was already fired. I just don't remember. Nope, I don't know. Very odd. It's very hard to find shit when you don't. I guess I just don't know when to look. Again, it really feels like time traveling. It's very frustrating. I feel like maybe it was. I feel like Con Bravo is always in July, but maybe it wasn't in July. Maybe it was in like March. I don't know. I gotta find this really bad shit. You know what I mean? Like I believe everybody, but I don't remember what I said. I don't remember that good shit. All right. Maybe it was before all of this. We didn't go up there in the winter, did we? Maybe we did go up there in the winter. Oh, it's all coming back to me now, isn't it? It is all coming back to me. It had to have been, because I don't know when else we could have gone. Alright, so if we go 2013, January, and we just go, this is probably a logical conclusion. February, because I don't think I looked here. Maybe it was the end of 2012 that I got fired. Yeah, maybe. Okay. I've been streaming a bunch. So I was making the bunny perspective music. I was trying to get a... I don't know. Huh. Oh, well, I guess I have to give up on this because I don't know exactly where. It's really hard to find that shit. I honestly do not know when I got fired. God, that would have been the most boring thing in the world. I thought that would have been easier to figure out after, like, a small amount of fucking... But it wasn't. It was a madness. Obviously, there's no proof of me saying anything horrible on the internet. If I can't find it... Side note, if anyone can remember when I got fired from Shay Apocalypse, I literally think I spent a half hour trying to figure it out. I could not find it. Was it more than a half an hour? It felt like an eternity, and I apologize. Stay right there, though. I don't know why I turned it on for me to just to pause it. Oh, so you can look at the thing that I just got? Yeah, okay. Stay right there. I can say this much. It's been so long since I've had any communication with any of those guys that I actually forgot how much communication on Twitter I had with those guys. I'm sure I said some fucked up shit. I'm sure at the time I meant it, and I'm sure that I was wrong or whatever. But can't apologize if people don't tell me what they're actually offended by at this point. I don't know. When we made stuff that I really liked, the show was really fun to make. And I'm not saying that this webcam thing is or isn't going to turn into anything kind of cool. What I want to do is have an excuse to have a live stream and have conversations with people. If you're watching this live, tomorrow it'll be me and Karen, and we'll get to talk about the old days, probably rehash some of this conversation. And I'll edit that and make it into a thing. Probably be less edited or cut up into pieces, probably with just some cartoons. But I really miss doing this stuff. I miss those. I miss all the conversations we all used to have. And yeah. I don't know. It's in looking at all of the interaction I had around the time that I was putting out the Syphil and Ollie episode. Yeah, I mean, I guess I took that for granted. I guess I can't remember a time. I can't remember how often I was like contacted and talked to by people, and people were promoting my stuff a lot, and it's not that I took. I guess it's not that I took it for granted. I really tried to roll with it, but it was pretty emotionally draining to make those episodes. The thing about the bunny perspective, the Syphilunale episode, and all that is there's a lot of infighting happening at that point at the studio, and it was a lot of effort, and I think it turned out pretty good, but everything could be better, I guess, but I don't know what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is, you know, the bunny perspective's never been taken very seriously. Not that I expect this to be. But the bunny perspective was always like this thing that other people would always have to have meetings about. And I'm always this point of contention. Like, some people were into me being a part of things, and other people were like, nah, let's not have him be a part of things. And I don't know. I'm sure there was some kind of meeting. I'm sure no one wants to admit to have known me. That's a hard pill to like kind of think about, but I don't think a Jenny Nicholson would be. I don't think I would. I don't know. I don't think I get a chance to get along with her, obviously, because I don't think that's. I don't think there's a universe where I like get to make content with Lindsay or Dan on any level. Like, it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, this version of this intro is at the long, painful, like, walk through the desert with no water, gasping for and pining for this shit that I barely remember. And I got it in my head that there's no way that I can make any kind of interesting YouTube whatever without their involvement. And that really sells short all of the people I've said forever have been overlooked, right? Like, I think that, like, there are a lot of people who kind of gave up on video making at a point earlier than I would have liked. Karen's kind of one of them, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. But I always thought Karen should have been involved. And this is less of a permanent solution to what I want to make for content, and more of a proving that I can make content on a regular basis and make it interesting and watchable without having to be another fucking essayist. Do we have enough essayists yet? Do you want me to write an essay before I write? Do you want me to write an essay? I don't like writing essays. I didn't like writing essays in high school. I liked writing speeches because you can just write whatever kind of thing you got to remember and then make sure to talk about it. Usually you practice ahead of time. You know kind of what you're talking about. This is all off the cuff. I keep forgetting to write this stuff down because all of this is so heated and emotional. And one nerve strikes another nerve and it fires into another neuron. And that neuron makes me go look at Twitter from 2013 or whatever the fuck. I can't remember when I got fired. I can't. I don't remember when it was. But I'll tell you what, I can't remember. I'm going to look it up at some point. I know one of my videos that I posted for the Bunny Perspective advertises for Con Bravo. And I think it has the date on it. And if I have that, then I could figure out when I got fired, because I got fired right after. Later, Rose. We'll have to do a thing sometime when you can talk, if you want to. But yeah, like, I think I could get Vega to do one. She's been doing videos lately. And I knew who Viga was for a while, right before I got fired and stuff. So she was another person I think I was going to recommend. I think I was getting to that point. There are a lot of people I ended up recommending that they worked with for a little while. I think, did I hear that Sursum Ursa was like a TERF, or was like with anti-trans rights or some shit? I can't remember if that was true or not. Let me point out a few other things, and we'll just move on. And I'm sure I'll probably get into this conversation with other people, so I don't know why I'm worried about it. Here's the thing, kids. I want to live stream. I want to have conversation with people at live streams. And for now, that's not happening. So it's going to be a lot of gaming on this live stream, on this YouTube channel. And I'm gonna every week put them into different playlists and make sure that they go where they go. And then these videos I will edit, and they will be as coherent as they can be. Initially, I wanted this to be an introduction. Then I wanted the second episode to be just about Lindsay Ellis. I just wanted to barf out my feelings about Lindsay. And those feelings are there. They're still a few videos ago. But I think about things. You know, sometimes I barf out a lot of feelings. And then once I get those feelings barfed out, I can look at it from other people's perspectives. And I know that realistically, there's no relationship between me and Lindsay. And I mean that like we were never friends, right? And we were barely collaborators. Because at that time, the way people collaborated was just you promoted each other's work, you put each other on your own collective dumb fucking website or whatever the fuck you did. That was networking. Now networking is like real networking, or like real collaboration is like real collaboration, right? It's like we actually help each other with scripts and stuff. And I realized that Rap Critic was asking me to do that, but I was really not at a time to help punch up scripts. And moreover, it's usually just that I don't feel really unqualified to look over somebody's review of rap. And usually, mostly what I saw was fine, and I wouldn't know what to fix anyway. Because I'm not really an editor or anything. I'm more of a, and I'd rather hear an idea and talk about it and then, I don't know, punch it up that way. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I hate writing. Believe me, I've tried writing, and I don't like doing it. I didn't like writing the bunny perspective. Like sitting down to write the bunny perspective was a fucking chore. That's probably a good indicator that you shouldn't be reviewing things like that. That doesn't mean I don't have opinions I don't want to express, but that's what this kind of format is good for. And it was then too. Any rate, I lost track of what was important. Then I was like, how long are you going to talk about this boring old bullshit that no one gives a shit about? And how much of it did you already talk about when the Channel Awesome stuff came out? And all this stuff, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'd much rather be discussing Peter Gabriel music, or I'd rather talk about why Solo is a piece of shit movie, or why Future Man is probably the best television show you haven't watched yet, because it's on Hulu probably, but you should watch it. Hey, watch Future Man. Enter Spider-Verse is the best cartoon of 2018 and possibly ever created. It's definitely the best Spider-Man thing. Like, of all the Spider-Man things, it's the best thing for Spider-Man. I don't know. And I also want to talk about my personal coming out and being a weird, pervy, queer type person. want to talk about me and Heather's poly relationship, and I want to talk about how I had a dog die in my hands. That would be fun. It'll be a fun stream for everybody. Don't worry, I'll put a lot of trigger warnings on it. And we'll talk about my current dog problems. Maybe we'll do a dog update or something. But like the thing is, I want to put as much effort in and I'll put more effort into it as possible. So, you know, there's a Patreon if you want to help. Right now the Patreon buys me goof off shit. If the Patreon gets serious and I can like lean on it, the more I'm going to do stuff for the show because I can use that money to buy things for the show. But I've got a day job now. I take it very seriously because it's a really serious, like, as full-time job as I'm going to be able to try to make it. And I'm in a really stable place. I look back on when we were making these other episodes and everything, and I don't know. At the end of the day, I really think it's fair to never talk to me again, and I think it's fair to give me a second chance. And part of why I wanted to stream and talk about this today is when I started trying to revamp this, however many attempts ago, I hadn't finished watching Steven Universe yet. Steven Universe just finished a very long arc with a very satisfying conclusion. Like, if you told me there was no more Steven Universe, I'd be okay with it. But there's going to be more, so who cares? But, and there's a song and at the very, very end, and it's good. It's very validating. It's very smart. And I don't know. I don't know. Just want a second chance. I want to change people's minds. But, you know, what I think is actually true. You know, I think what it is? I think what it is they just didn't like me. And then I made it really, really hard to be likable. And it was easy to get rid of me. And and it's not like I showed them. I just shut down. But, you know, that's the other thing about this low effort kind of shit is I can put this out and make it as watchable and interesting as I can. And at the end of the day, if it works, it works. And if it doesn't work, I didn't literally build, you know, I didn't go out of my way to write this whole thing. You know, I didn't spend hours writing the script and agonizing over it, you know. I didn't, you know, at the end of the day, I turned a webcam on. I made sure it looked interesting to me, you know, kind of a bylighting kind of thing. I ignored the pain in my tooth, and I sallied forth. I made sure there's plenty of smoke breaks and video games, and I cut out a bunch of the repetitive, awkward bullshit that you can still watch if you want to. And that is the point of this, is to show that I still can do that. I mean, I can go through and do a bunch of other complicated shit, but my computer can't keep up. So I can't for right now. Eventually, I'm going to Frankenstein in some good pieces and get the cockroaches out of it. Literally. And maybe work on upgrading the Cintiq to a higher one so that I can stop using this one long enough that I can, like, maybe debug it. And slowly, surely get rid of these. But here's the, you know, so I don't know. It's hard. It was hard then. I don't know. I kept saying I was going to come back with something. I really felt like every time I was going to come back with something, I was going to come back with something. And you know why I feel like this is gonna work? I absolutely know I'm not gonna come back with anything. Because I've learned that I don't want to. It hurts. You know, it hurts to put a lot of effort into something and then no one watches it. They just that gets really rough, man. And it's not because it's any more crass or dumb or worse shot or whatever as anything else. It's just, you know, how do you do this? Because I don't know how. I thought it was one way. I thought it was make friends with people and, you know, mutually collaborate. And then I didn't really think, why don't I just help people make their shows until recently? But that's kind of what I'm proposing. Because I don't think that... Well, you know, I say that, I go, I don't think that I'm a voice that Lindsay really wants. And I say that, and I'm like, but why does she need you? And I'm like, she needs me because she does. Because they're all starting to sound the same. You guys all fucking sound the same. You guys all end with a fucking point. You guys all do the fucking bulleted list bullshit. And you need someone to point that out to you. It's getting fucking redundant as fuck. The good thing about YouTube is that it was variety and interest. You guys all copy each other now. It's ridiculous. You're boring. You need me to make you less boring. Because I'm telling you, before I edited this shit was much more boring. But you know what I mean. I mean... You know, if I wanted to be mean, I could smash cut all of Kyle's endings together. You just smash cut them all together. Every one of his endings, they all sound exactly fucking the same. They all end exactly the same. I could download all of his videos and cut to the ending of all of his, and they all end the same. They all end the same. It's no one knows how to end anything anymore. You know how you end something? And then you put the patrons' names up there. Assholes. What the fuck are you still doing here? Nick Fury? You're X-Men now. Yay. See, I liked editing this. I have the worst cavity. I want to kill myself. All right, bye. Love you, kisses. Bye.